Hey there YouTube and knife people. I'm Joe, you're watching my channel Ink&Iron, and I have my first knife review in several years since they started cracking down on knife reviews. This is from Oknife, and I was sent this knife for review by Oknife, so thank you very much for that. It is the 18th anniversary of Olight, and Oknife is one of their sister companies. So congrats to them. They're having a sale, and this knife is going to be released during that sale. This is called the Duron. Okay, this is a 3.5-inch Nitro-V steel with a PVD coating. It has O aluminum handles. I guess that's a proprietary alloy for Oknife, and it makes it about 35% lighter than if it were titanium handle slabs. So very interesting, very lightweight, very slicey knife, very thin behind the edge. We have no steel liners in here, only a lock bar insert. We do have dual position pocket clip, makes it pretty ambidextrous. I'll show you that later in the video. I've never had Nitro-V steel before, but it does seem to work well. It came shaving sharp and continues to be shaving sharp. If you're wondering what this is, I just shot a video for the Olight Seeker 4 Pro. This is one of their new colorways that's also going to be released with the Olight sale. You can use my code II10, that's II10, for 10% off on the website or the app during this sale. But anyway, this Nitro-V has been pretty well behaved. You can see it wipes off easily. I've mostly been cutting like sticky stuff and cardboard and... Hi Zeb. Okay, bud. Alright, if we're being honest, a lot of us are using our knives to open packages of one variety or another. Maybe open up some cat food, some cat treats. Maybe, if they're good, and stop interrupting my filming. This is Zebulon, if you haven't met him before. He's a tabby. He's not that smart. Alright, bud. We got a video to make. Alright, if Zeb lets us, take a piece of this cardboard. You know, if you got cats or kids, it is sometimes challenging to properly use a knife around them safely, because they just want to know what you're up to. Okay, bud. Cuts cardboard easily. You're killing me, man. Move. Alright. Yeah, still shaving. The Nitro-V seems to be a rather sticky steel when it comes to taking a fine edge. So yeah, in practical terms, this has worked very well. The lightweight and comfortable carry makes it very practical. What do you think, Zeb? Yeah, good. He seems fine with it. Just wanted to show you that it cleans up easily. At various points during this video, we'll probably have schmutz on it, which is just how it goes when you have a new knife. You end up cutting anything and everything with it. Come on. Trying to get it off the edge here. The thumb studs have been very practical and comfortable. The blade length, as I said, is 3.5 inches or 89 millimeters for my metric people. The total weight here is 90 grams. That's 3.17 ounces. That is less than 1 ounce per inch of blade length, which is a pretty good you know, litmus test for whether a knife is going to be easy to carry in the pocket or really be swinging around like a brick. The overall length is 8.01 inches or 203.4 millimeters. So pretty good everyday carry size, good everyday carry shape, almost a boring profile, which, you know, I think we're all used to at this point and know that it's a pretty comfortable thing to grip onto. Nicely radiused handle shape here. It does very well in the pocket. I'll show you how it sits. It's almost invisible. Yeah, it works really well in the pocket, and this clip is reversible. I think left-handed operation is going to go fine if you reverse the clip. Okay, so let's flip this pocket clip around and also make sure there's nothing weird going on with the pocket clip. It's going to be a T6 Torx. Feels really firm. RIP this T6 Torx. Wow. Hey, knife manufacturers, whenever you feel like ceasing the use of T6 Torx, we're all on board. I'm a knife guy. You know I have backups. Well, there goes another one. I'm thinking these are Loctited in place. Nice. Things aren't going well when you're grabbing the soldering gun to do knife maintenance. I'm going to give this 15 seconds. This is a portable butane variety. Okay. Yeah, I think we got it. Is that coming out? Yes. About 15 seconds of heat. That's going to be a very important time limit for knives that are not made of solid metal. If you've got some kind of thermoplastic or resin, you'll want to be careful how much heat. Okay, finally they're coming out. Let's swap these. And here's the pocket clip, switch to the other side. Sits just as deep. Screws sit just as flush. So let's see if this is a little easier with my left hand. I am predominantly right-handed, so give me something, yeah. Being able to wrap my fingers around the pocket clip really helps with the ergonomics of disengaging this lock. Honestly, this knife doesn't look too bad even with the clip on the other side. Kind of like the technical look of the lock bar cut out like that. Clip looks pretty good on this side also, although I guess it's upside down relative to the knife. I don't know. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty good for lefties. It's really not that difficult to disengage, even for someone who's mostly a righty, especially when it comes to bladed tools. I am also going to take this knife apart and show you the guts. I said when I took it apart that it had steel ball bearings. I've since learned that they are ceramic ball bearings, so that was my mistake. Here are the guts of the Oknife Duron. I simply took it apart with a T8 Torx bit. If you want to remove the lock bar insert or the pocket clip, you're actually going to need a T6 driver, but T8 can get you as far as you see here. The pivot is actually captured ball bearings, and we do have a steel lock bar insert for durability. There are washers underneath. Try not to scratch up my aluminum here. There we go. Yeah, just a little steel washer sits between the bearing surface and the aluminum. That makes sense. The aluminum would wear out quite thoroughly from steel ball bearings, which I assume these are for durability. Okay, so you got bearings on either side. Oops. There's our pivot screw, or I guess pivot nut, technically a nut and a bolt. It is keyed, so it only goes into the knife blade one way. There we go. I have a pillar here that helps the knife during lockup. And here's your little lanyard standoff, I guess. This appears to just keep the handles aligned when they're together. It's a remarkably small amount of hardware that actually keeps these handle scales together. It's very sparing in its construction here. Just a quick look at the little blade detent hole. I think it's working well. Came with a little bit of oil. Lock surface looking nice still. Let's put this thing back together with the T8. Quick note here, if you're reassembling this blade, the D-shaped pivot nut only fits into the opposing handle one way, so you're going to want to make sure that's rotated into the proper orientation when you're trying to sandwich these back together. Something like that, I hope. Yeah, much better. Something interesting is happening. We're losing our perfect blade centering. Let's see if we can do anything about this. It's my experience mostly in the pivot. Oh, there we go. See it moving? I'm assuming once we're centered back up, we're good to go, yeah? Interesting. Not sure how tight that needs to be. That feels a little excessively tight, but we are centered. It's a bit tighter than it was. Back it off a hair. It's feeling about right, and we are centered back in the handles. Yep, I'm gonna call that good. So this knife got included with a couple of different things that I'll pull out and show you what you get for your money. By the way, this knife MSRP is gonna be $99.99, so 100 bucks. That makes it pretty competitive in today's market, in my opinion. So with the knife, you get a cleaning cloth and an instruction manual, but more interestingly, you get this like premium style pouch, which is pretty cool. And in that pouch is the knife on this side. And then over here in this little Velcro compartment, we have a coin. We do have an Olight coin, which is pretty cool. It's got the Duron, the snake on there, and then Oknife Outdoor Elite on the opposite face. So very cool, feels very highly textured. If someone gives you a knife, you're supposed to give them a coin in exchange. And Olight gives you both. So very, very cool. Let me buff this handle a little bit, or this knife blade rather. And naturally the cleaning cloth that comes with the knife has Oknife branding as well. Really strong brand recognition here. If you don't like billboarding, Oknife is not going to be your knife company. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So yeah, like I said, I've been using this knife for the past week. I think it's definitely going to stay in my collections. Really smooth deployment here. Off those bearings, it is drop shut. So yeah, I've been digging it. I think if I were a lefty, it would also work for me, as I demonstrated earlier. I do think there's an opportunity here for better colorways on here, but as I showed you earlier with this Olight Seeker 4, like they can do pretty crazy anodizing and then like laser engraving and stuff like that. So I think there's a pretty pretty strong opportunity here for some really sick knives. But anyway, for your consideration, the Oknife Duron. I think it's a pretty good offering, and at $100 with Nitro-V steel, I think we're right in the pocket here for competitiveness. And then the lightweight design for a full-size EDC knife, that's just pretty good overall. So yeah, spend your money how you want, but this is going to be an option for you, and happy anniversary to Olight and Oknife. I've been Joe, you've been watching Ink&Iron, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.